Most salespeople reach for Opus, just assuming that it's automatically the best Claude model for sales work. But I tested all 3 models, all on the same task. Now here's the problem. Claude has 3 models to choose from, Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku, and most salespeople have no idea what the difference even is. You either pick Opus because somebody told you that it's the smartest and the best, or you just stick with the default and never even think about it. But the way that you prompt Claude matters almost as much as which model it is that you pick. So I ran a side-by-side test, one lazy prompt and one structured one. All 3 models, and the results will change how you use Claude every day. So let me give you a bit of an analogy to help explain kind of how the 3 models work. Haiku is the food truck. Fast, cheap, perfect for a quick lunch. Now, Sonnet is going to be your favorite local restaurant. It's reliable, food is always consistent, it's good. Opus model is more like fine dining, tasting menu. It's a bit slower, pricier, but the experience is next level. Basically, you don't take Opus to lunch when a food truck will more than suffice. So now you know which model to use and when, but a senior strategist will still give you garbage if your brief is garbage. So meaning that if your prompt is crap, the output is going to be crap as well. Whereas a really tight prompt can allow Haiku to punch way above its weight. And let me show you exactly how. From the chat window, you can see on the left, we have a plus button. If you click on that, you can see where you can add files, upload photos, documents, etc. And on the right-hand side is where we select our models. Here by default, you can see that mine is set at Sonnet 4.6. Yours may say Haiku or Opus, depending on if you've changed any settings on yours already. Starting with Haiku 4.5, which is basically our food truck. Like we said, this is best for the fastest and quickest answers. Sonnet 4.6 is our go-to restaurant. This is going to be for daily, everyday tasks. And Opus 4.8 for a restaurant analogy is the fine dining Michelin star restaurant. In a work context, you'll be pulling this one in for much deeper reasoning and more complex tasks. I'm going to select Haiku 4.5 and I'm just going to ask it, write me a cold email to a CEO. I'm not going to give it any other context, just that. And I'm going to use this for all 3 of the models. So we can see that before moving forward, Claude wants to ask us a few clarifying questions, which that's great because I didn't give it any context for it to actually give me useful output. It needs to narrow down what it is that I'm actually looking for. So what am I selling or offering? Let's say my agency services. Who's my ideal target CEO or industry or company size? I'm going to say tech SaaS startups. And what is your main value prop or hook? I'm going to say efficiency and automation. Now, Claude is going to take a few seconds to think. All right, and already we have our output. Subject is 30 minutes to cut your workload in half. And we can just scan really quickly. I was looking at companies, growth trajectory, notice you're scaling fast. We help, blah, 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 blah. The result is usually 40 to 60% less manual effort. And down here, we can provide a brief social proof. Is it worth a quick call to see if it's fit? To be honest, I wouldn't send that. It's way too long for one, but again, I didn't give Claude any parameters at all. So not too bad for the initial output, but now let's try the exact same prompt in a different models. And I'm just gonna paste my same prompt, and let's make sure that I change my model to Sonnet 4.6 and go ahead and hit enter. All right, and Sonnet is also asking me for some clarifying questions. What are you offering? Let's say marketing agency services. I wanna just get a reply and start conversations here. Do you have a specific company in mind? I'm looking for B2B SaaS startups. Now it's gonna think a little bit more and come back with an email template for me. Okay, cool. And we can already see that actually the quality of this email offhand looks a lot better because we can see from the top, this is an interactive email that it's given me. I can see that Claude has given me 3 different email approaches. The first one being pain-led, then credibility-led, the third one being super short and curiosity-focused. All right, and it's provided me with different subjects for these different emails as well. Okay, so let's just do a quick review. So a notice company recently, specific trigger, maybe raised a round, launched a new feature, hiring for sales. I run a B2B SaaS marketing agency. We help early to mid-stage teams. Okay, better. It's shorter, which is good for sure. Let's check out the credibility led. I help similar company 3x their demo requests. All right, so just looking at this email already, I see a dead giveaway when it comes to AI written content. This M- right here is a dead giveaway. AI chronically uses these. So this is something that probably if you're sending off cold emails, you want to make sure that you're not using these M-dashes because it is really a dead giveaway that you're using AI to generate. And even the smallest things could disqualify you from getting a foot in the door with your prospective leads. So anything that we can avoid that would keep us from potentially entering into conversation with these prospects, let's remove them. Okay, but otherwise in terms of the content of the email, not bad. And then the third one is ultra short curiosity. This is something more along the lines of probably what I would recommend using for a cold email. Hi, first name, do you have someone owning pipeline generation right now, or is it still largely founder led? asking because I specialize in B2B SaaS growth and I'm curious what's working or not working at your stage. Okay, much better. And now for the third round, let's try Opus. So go back over here, click new chat. All right, let me just paste in my prompt and then select my model, Opus 4.8, and hit enter. Okay, and immediately Opus is already saying, here's a cold email template you can adapt. It's not even asking me any clarifying questions. And also it's provided me with 3 different variations of the email. So also with different subject lines, so problem-led, there's direct task, and also softer, more curiosity-focused emails. So let's just review the problem-led quickly. Okay, notice company is scaling the sales team, expanding, hiring SDRs. This client saw a specific result in a time frame. Is it worth a call? Okay, that's problem-led. Direct ask is just going straight for it, where it's asking, are you the right person to talk about this, or should I reach out to someone on your team? It's perfect if you're not sure. And then for the last one, soft or curiosity focused, a little bit of a softer approach is more a personalized opener. This is something that you do need to put, of course, thought into. That's not going to be something that AI can just pull out of thin air, especially if you do want it to be very specific. All right, so we've given all 3 models the exact same crappy, short, very vague kind of prompt. And based off of the output, you can see that Haiku had definitely the most basic output provided. Even though it did ask some clarifying questions, there was still a lot kind of left on the table that was unknown, whereas Sonnet and Opus both provided different variations or different options for the emails. But again, these could be a lot better with a lot more specific instructions. Now, when it comes to using different models, Claude does charge by something called tokens. Basically, these are pieces of words, kind of like the same way that every restaurant is going to have a different bill at the end of every meal. On Claude, this shows up as message limits and tokens. Opus will burn through your daily quota the fastest. Just like eating at a Michelin star restaurant 3 times a day, you'll probably be broke by Wednesday. So make sure that you match the meal to the moment or the model to the task. That way you can stretch your budget and your usage a lot further. There is actually a way that you can check what your usage is if you just go to the left-hand panel and then down at the bottom, click on your name and then settings. And then here on the left panel, again, we see usage. Go ahead and click there. And now we have our plan usage limits. And we can see that you have a number of different progress bars here. We can see that we have a current 5-hour session and then also our weekly limits. This, of course, will vary depending on what kind of a plan you're on, whether you're using free, pro, or max. And you can even see for the current session, it resets in 3.5 hours. This resets every 5. And for weekly limits, you can see how much more time I have until my weekly limits reset. All right, let's just go ahead and close out this box. And now we want to give all 3 models a really strong prompt, something that's structured really well so you can really see the difference that prompting makes regardless of what kind of model you're using. Now, every prompt that I'm using follows a structure that I call CAFE. Context, action, filters, and end result. Essentially, how you order matters more than where you're actually eating. If you walk into a fine dining restaurant and you just say, I want food, even the best chef is not going to give you exactly what it is that you're looking for because they're not mind readers. You walk up to a food truck and you say, I want a vegetarian wrap with no onions, no spice, light on the sauce, and add extra tomatoes. You're going to get exactly what you want. A clear and structured prompt gets you usable output from most any model, whereas a vague prompt gets you an equally vague answer from even the smartest model. So from our CAFE framework, C is for context. Who are you? What's your business? What are you trying to accomplish? Claude doesn't know any of this until you tell it. A is for action. What do you actually want Claude to do? Is it write something, find something for you, describe something for you? Be very clear about what your action is. F is for filters, the specific criteria that Claude should be using. So anything that you would use to narrow down a list, that would belong here. This is the step that most people actually skip. B2B founders isn't a description, that's a category. The more specific you are with your filters, the sharper the answer is going to be. And E is for end result. What do you want the answer to look like? Is it a paragraph, a bulleted list, a spreadsheet, something under 150 words? Tell Claude. Otherwise, it just picks it for you, and the default is rarely what you actually need. All right, so I have some prompts that I've already run through, but I want to go back and show you what I started with. So in these prompts, I'm asking Claude to help me more clearly identify and outline my ICP. This way I can have Claude help me write better cold emails, do any follow-ups and such without it sounding AI written, and it sounds much more personalized. So from our CAFE framework, we start off with C for context. First, I told it a bit about my business. I run a small YouTube growth agency. We have 1 to 3 people. We help B2B SaaS companies. Next, A is for action. So what I want Claude to do, I'm building out a project to help me find leads that fit my ICP, as well as writing cold emails that feel personally written. F is for filters. So I gave Claude more of an outline of who my ideal customer is. They're doing 1 million plus in ARR. Typically, I'll be reaching out to either the CEO or the founder. And then E for end result, what the output should look like exactly. I asked it first to really fully step into the role of this person, to really understand who they are, where they're coming from, and what their pain points are. Then I said that I want two very specific outputs. The first one is going to be sourcing signals, so job titles to search, headcount range, hiring tells, etc. And then the second one is a persona narrative. This is what's really going to help me when it comes to my outreach and my cold emails, to really kind of get inside the head of my ICP. What does their current week look like? What's their relationship with YouTube? Do they already have a channel? Are they embarrassed that they don't? They're frustrated that what they have isn't already working, etc. And then finally, I said aim for 300 to 400 words total for section 2 specifically. Write it so that emails built from this read as written for them and not just generic emails. So that was the input that I gave it using that cafe structure. Again, context, action, filters, and end result. Now for Haiku, let's see what the output was that it gave back to me. All right, so we can see here for our sourcing signals, the job titles are CEO, founder, co-founder, VP of growth. It gave me the company stage and scale, revenue and funding signals, products category markers. We have hiring and growth tells, other findable proxies where it says, for example, LinkedIn followers in the low thousands. They exist, but they aren't a brand name yet. Employee count growth in the last 12 months. Okay, some good points, but a little bit obvious and still a little bit broad, to be quite honest. Now for the narrative persona, right now on a Monday morning, here's what you'd tell me over coffee. I'm not gonna read every single line. You can pause the video and read through on the screen if you would like. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give this output about like a 6.5, I would say. Now let's look at the exact same prompt, but inside of Sonnet. Now here at the top, I have my prompt that's been pasted in, and let's take a look at the sourcing signals and persona. So job titles to search, again, it's the same, CEO, co-founder, secondaries, VP of marketing, head of growth, outreach goes to the CEO, of course. We have our revenue and funding signals, more specific by providing raised amounts from Crunchbase, some different hiring tells, and other findable proxies. Has a YouTube channel with less than 10 videos. Last upload was 6 months ago. Visible enough to know that YouTube matters, but not winning yet. That's actually a much more specific marker that as a salesperson, I probably wouldn't have come up with on my own. And then for a persona narrative, already we can see it's much more specific. It gives me the age range, he's 34 to 45. The team has grown to 30 to 60 people. What does his current week look like? The relationship with YouTube, he knows that he should be on YouTube already, things he's tried already, and then in their own words. So for this output, I would say it's a solid 7, maybe even 7.5. Now let's try the exact same prompt on our final model with Opus. For our sourcing signals, job titles and headcount range, that's all the same. Revenue and funding signals. They've gone from seed to Series A or Series B, most recently raised in the last 6 to 18 months. Some product and category markers that it's given me. LinkedIn company page lists a product, not a service offering. Okay, great. Job post mentions as well. And then other findable proxies. It's given some interesting points. Recent podcast guest appearances by the founder. The company already has a YouTube channel with 2,000 or more subs. Your regular uploads. So again, a little bit more specific than even what Sonnet was providing me with. So it looks like Sonnet and Opus are both giving me signals that I wouldn't necessarily have thought of on my own, whereas Haiku did give me correct signals, but obvious ones. She's a founder CEO of a 4 million AR B2B SaaS company, perfect. 45 people, Series A done 18 months ago. What's her relationship with YouTube? She knows that YouTube should be working for her, but it isn't. There are 2 competitors that are showing up in her buyers' feeds every week, building the exact same trust that she's paying Google Ads to rent. I really like that part. And then finally, in her own words. Now, this is a great output as well, perhaps closer to a 7.5, 8. All of these outputs can probably be sharpened a bit more if I just continue to work a little bit more with each model, asking more specific and clarifying questions until I'm really able to get that ICP description to where it is that I want it to be. If we're comparing all 3 models for sourcing signals, in terms of originality, I would say the Opus definitely comes out on top. And then in terms of our persona narrative, Opus pointing out things like 2 competitors showing up in the buyer's feed every week, building the exact same trust that this founder is paying in Google Ads to rent. Sonnet saying things like competitor's YouTube video had 40,000 views, a comment section full of the exact same ICP, or Haiku giving a more generic persona narrative of watching competitors from YouTube from 12 months ago, pulling a real pipeline, qualified demos, and it's really eating at me. So from these persona narratives, Opus and Sonnet have really written sentences that pretty much allow the cold email to write itself, whereas Haiku did have some competent perspective, but it was still a bit generic. But the reality is that with the strong prompt, all 3 models give you something that's usable. So while the Haiku model can give you a decent quality of output at a fraction of the speed and cost of the Opus model, If you look closely, the smarter models will still pull ahead in terms of originality and depth. So here's the cheat sheet for the video. When it comes to subject lines, a quick polish, or just the 5-second tasks, choose Haiku. For 80% of your daily sales work, choose Sonnet. And when it comes to the deals that really need it, or the way more complex and deeper jobs, choose Opus. And for the big takeaway, a strong prompt often matters more than which model it is that you choose. Because with the Cafe framework, even Haiku can ship somewhat close to Opus quality. Without it, you're just paying for premium and getting average results. So always make sure that you're prompting well. Now next, if you want to learn how Claude can actually create entire leads lists with contact information for you, make sure to check out this video. And let me know in the comments, which Claude model are you using? And what part of your sales workflow are you using it for? Thanks for watching. Now it's your turn. Scale smarter and not harder.